God, you jumped with Munches because that was an exclusive on PS2, right? And then you switched over to the Xbox. Was that because of just the architecture of the PS2?
It wasn't exclusive, but at that time, the architectures were so different that you didn't necessarily... well, first of all, Microsoft didn't exist yet as a game console, right? So you had, Nintendo and PlayStation and Sega barely hanging in there, And so PlayStation was it.
Yeah.
And... sorry, to your original question.
Oh, just about shifting over to the Xbox.
Yeah,
I remember, did you release a demo, or you're making a demo for the PS2 version of Munches or something?
Yeah, it was, and I didn't handle that well.
Okay.
In the press, I didn't handle that well. I got beat up a lot.
I remember being a kid and being pissed about it. I have to buy an Xbox to play this thing now? What the hell?
Yeah, case in point, So, but it was a survival tactic because we were disappointed with how the PlayStation 2 looked, and I remember. Like Phil Harrison was saying, polygons are free. Right now, I came out of film level computer graphics. Phil Harrison's a smart guy. If you really understood 3D, polygons are never free, right? Let alone that era. The first guy who was saying silly stuff like that was 3DO with Trip Hawkins, right?
Oh, sure.
Oh, this machine's going to do this machine's going to do that. And I was looking at specs, I was like, this machine isn't going to do shit, man. But there'll be a lot of stupid money thinking it can. Now, we got to get in the business because they think it's going to go 3D. We're well positioned, right? Whereas, by the way, I think Phil Harris is a really smart guy. He's achieved a lot and done a lot, and I don't mean to dog him, but he said that, and he deserves a ding on it.
Sure.
Polygons are still not free.
Yeah.
Right? We're just a lot more at lower cost. But what happened was we were in a declining position with a publisher who had just been acquired by another publisher that we didn't have anything to do with. And they wanted to change budgets. They wanted to change the way that they did things, the way that we did things. It wasn't compatible. We had to find a way out. And we wanted off the PS2 because we didn't... I should also say, we didn't have... the total expertise in-house to know how to really optimize a system like that. Like, I think Naughty Dog was in a better shape with Andy Gavin and their teams of people writing machine-level code. They had a better advantage. They also
just tricky architecture overall. So let's just go for the Xbox.
And they also had, more access to Sony.
Yeah.
Right? But if you were kind of on the outskirts like us, we had almost none. And we're getting into trouble, and now we got financial partners that have changed, and we're not believers, and they're not believers in us. So we're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And then Sony comes along, and Seamus and Kevin Bacchus and Ed Freeze come along, and they're like, we're going to build a machine for developers. We're going to build a machine that really is designed to let people like you build games better, faster, cheaper, right? Now, that normally doesn't make sense, but when you have a whole half-assed operating system or development system, that can make sense. Like, if you have a good set of tools, you can do better, faster, cheaper.
Yeah.
I know the common wisdom is pick two. I'll tell you what, pick one shitty hardware system, and you can win all three on another one that's better. And so, that's an over-exaggeration. I shouldn't say PS2 it was just the development environment was a nightmare.